They didn't want to listen to me. They wanted to learn how to emulate Zaha Hadid so they can become the next Zaha Hadid. So that was the end of the lecture. I was offering this lecture series every week for free. And we only lasted for 3 lectures, and that was it. So already there is a predisposition. There's the brainwashing that has gone on. These young people have seen the media, they have seen the television, they see the newspapers, and they see the magazines. They see these images of everyone, the media praising these inhuman scale buildings. So they go to architecture school and they say, I want you to teach me to build one of these buildings because I want to build like that. And if you dare to tell them that is inhuman, you're going to do harm to your culture and your society and your people if you build like that. They don't want to hear that. They are ready to become stars at any cost. It's the megalomania, they're drunk on megalomania. And these are the first year students. So any architecture school has to face that. My own students tend to be more senior. I mean, the students that actually collaborate with me. They discover me, they're from all over the world, and they discover me after they're about to finish architecture school, or if they're doing a master's degree or a PhD degree. And they discover my work and Christoph Alexander's work, and they write me and they say, I finally realized what architecture is all about, and I can use this knowledge in order to build architecture for real people instead of just images and boxes. But it takes a certain maturity for someone to realize that on their own. And here I'm talking about a handful of people who have come to that realization because they have gone through architecture school and they have been told over and over and over again that they need to build glass and steel boxes. And the majority of architecture students become architects and don't go through this realization. And what do? When they practice, they build glass and steel boxes, which are mostly useless in most of the climates around the world. Now, I don't know how much time I have. Let me conclude and then we can have a dialogue with the audience, questions. Let me conclude by saying that I would like to help your conference and more importantly, I understand you have a network of people who are interested in these topics. So I'm ready to help. I have much of what I have done, my work, is free online. And I will share that with everyone. And my books are printed in the United States, but they're also printed in Kathmandu at a very, very low price. So students in India can buy my books from Kathmandu at an Indian price. They don't have to pay American price. So, but be careful, you know, whoever wants to buy my books, let me know and I will give you the link. Because Amazon.India offers both American versions and the Nepali versions, but they offer the American version first because they make a greater profit from that. But aside from the books, most of my articles and chapters from the book are free online. So that is a resource that is available, and I have recorded an entire semester of lectures on algorithmic sustainable design, and that is available free online for any teacher that wants to use all or some of these lectures in parallel with their courses. So I have much material. Now the work of Christoph Alexander, unfortunately you have to get his books, but they should be, they can be gotten in a library, and then the students can copy them, and I have no control over that. Many of my colleagues have the same philosophy as me. Many of my colleagues who have the same concerns and interests, who want to pursue a sustainable architecture around the world, applying the concepts of Christoph Alexander, write papers and they put them free online. So we have these resources available. There's a radical difference between what my group of friends who all look up to Christopher Alexander, what we do, and what the fashionable architects do. The fashionable architects give you the message that they're geniuses, and they hold a secret to this design, and that you need to copy them in order to become famous, because they have the secret that produces this innovative design. I think that it's all a show, it's all propaganda, but it has made them a lot of money. Now, my group of friends is the opposite. We say, whatever we have discovered, it's real knowledge based on science, and we share it. We share it with other people so that they can be convinced, and they can see that it is true. We're not asserting anything. We're sharing knowledge, and some of us are trained as scientists. I'm trained as a scientist. So we have access to the scientific knowledge, and then we transfer it and apply it to architecture and offer it in an architectural setting, so that any student will read one of our papers and will say, well, maybe I don't believe this. Well, they can go to the actual scientific research and check to see that what we're saying is correct. It is not a secret. We don't hide behind a mask of a supposed authority. We are open, and we share our knowledge, and we keep saying that the best architects and the best builders are common people, ordinary people, who have been building their houses for millennia. They know better than any architect. An architect who needs to help people should not go and tell them what to do, should go and ask them what they want to do, and then perhaps help in a technical way to support their own ideas, because the people have the best understanding of what spaces they need, and what circulation paths they need, and what materials they can use. So I think I will finish on that, and we can have a dialogue at this time, and I will be happy to answer questions. Thank you, Gina.
Thank you very much. We just want to clarify that what you mentioned about industrial modernism. That is what I actually meant. I'm sorry to say that it is a blanket statement on West. So I agree with that. There is no disagreement at all at that level. And that's the reason also, especially my interest in Christopher's work is also because of his a complete understanding of tradition all over the world actually. So modernity is a completely different kind of construct that probably we need to deconstruct and understand what that is. So I'll request friends to have a yes. Could you come here and talk?
To hear you. I happen to teach in a design school in Bombay, but I'm not an architect. But I thought I'll just take a short while to share an interesting experiment that we are embarking on with the help of a painter friend who is also a creator of habitats and uses local materials like mud and bamboo. We are planning to create a very small experiential center in a place about 150 kilometers from Bombay.
Yes.
And the nice thing that this person seems to do is he doesn't have an architect's training, but the sensibility for people and for materials is something which is truly delightful. He actually wanted to he's a muralist, he wanted to create murals, and in order that he can have walls, he started making these very lovely structures. And once maybe we get going and once it's up, it will be great to have you visit us sometimes and interact with students once again here. So thank you very much. So.
Yes, thank you. I would love to. I've not been to India. I would love to come to India. I'm waiting for the opportunity.
We'll certainly get in touch.
I'm not an architect either. I'm a designer from a design institute in India.
Yes.
Wonderful thing to hear to you and your views. The question now is, what if common people are the right people because they have the right understanding to their problems? Then what will be the role of architects, therefore What is the role of architectural schools? India has so many architectural schools. What is the role then the education?
Well, I can only give you my personal opinion. Architects are trained technically in order to build a structure that will not fall down. So if an architect respects what an ordinary person wishes to build, then they would help that person and provide knowledge, technical knowledge, that the ordinary person does not have. But that's not how we train our architects today. We train our architects to think that they know everything and that the common people know nothing. So I'm recommending an adjustment in the attitude. We still need to train architects in architecture schools. But if the training is successful in the way I see it, then that architect will graduate and go and help people to build human environments instead of trying to impose industrial type ideas.
The whole architectural education has to be totally revamped in that case, isn't it?
Well, I would agree that a massive realignment of architectural education is necessary. One of the major courses that has to be changed is that in every architecture school all over the world, a course is taught on the history of architecture. And it's a propaganda course, because old buildings are shown, and the students are told, these are very nice for the past, but you cannot build these now. You are forbidden to build these now. The only thing you can build now is industrial modernism. It's a propaganda course. That has to stop. An architecture student has to go through 4 or 5 years of architecture school today, in my opinion, and be shown the historic buildings of their culture, the vernacular buildings that common people build, and be told, this is the good architecture. You must try to emulate this architecture. If you can improve on this, fine. This is the good architecture, because people have been building this for thousands of years, and our historical architecture from our own culture, whichever culture it is wonderful, and we can try to use some of those elements to build today. Whereas architecture schools today do the opposite. They condemn all the achievements of their own civilization and just bring in those images from 1920s Germany and say, this is what you have to build today in Bombay, or in Rio de Janeiro, or in Brisbane, Australia. The same glass and steel boxes. So that definitely has to change, otherwise we're lost.
Okay, thank you. It's great talking to you.
One more person and then...
Sure, it's a pleasure.
I'm an architect practicing in Kerala. So there's just one thing, because today there's a big problem in housing, and high-rise building seems to be the solution to this. Now, how do you see us using traditional techniques and to create high-rise buildings? Do you have anything?
Yes, well, I'm an opponent of high-rise buildings. I think it's a false solution, because it creates a hyper-density problem that then destroys the urban fabric. So I propose low-rise, very high-density buildings. Low-rise, I mean 4 stories, maximum 8 stories high, but no higher. The configuration of those buildings can be such that it gives human spaces. What happens with high-rise buildings, more than 4 or 5 stories, is that you detach people from the society, and the society exists on the ground. So this is really putting people in prison. I'm aware of all the arguments saying that high-rise buildings are efficient. I don't agree with any of that. It's really destructive for society. I'm aware of the arguments saying that building high-rise buildings save the green spaces, because you concentrate high-rises and then you save less space for parks. That is also a misconception. Wherever you see high-rises, you see one high-rise next to another, and everything is filled in. And maybe there's a space and it's a concrete space. It's useless for anybody. It's certainly not a park. So I'm a strong opponent of high-rise buildings. I think a similar density, but of a human environment. A high-rise building is not a human environment. A similar density of people can be accommodated in low-rise buildings or mid-rise buildings with the correct geometry and the correct planning. So I don't see the need for these high-rise buildings. High-rise buildings are a gold mine for financial speculators because people make a lot of money. From the taller the building, the more money the developer makes. But that's not good for the inhabitants, it's not good for the city because it creates the over-concentration. So we can talk about this for hours and hours. I have written articles against high-rise buildings. And so I give my reasons there. And as far as also energy efficiency, high-rise buildings are not energy efficient. There is an optimum energy efficiency with high-density, mid-rise buildings, closely packed in, but with the correct type of urban spaces. That is the most energy efficient. So that's an optimum. You know, if you're spread out the buildings more, then you use more energy because it goes away from the optimum. But if you build even higher, then also you get away from the optimum. So the peak of the optimum is where we see the traditional high-density traditional mid-rise buildings.
Thank you so much.
Well, I'm back again. I just wanted to share that, in the last 10 years I've gone from living in a 2-story building to a 5-story building to a 16-story building. I stay on the 16th floor now, and I'm a very, very detached person today. I quite agree with what you say. And it's kind of always like you're about to land or something. You're viewing the earth from a plane. So that's what it is from a 16th floor. And yes, it does create, well, maybe the correct word is not detached, but alienated people perhaps. So thank you very much for that observation.
Yes, wait, sir. I need to talk to you.
Yes.
Yes, I want to add something I want to get very personal with you. You are obviously a member of the intelligentsia. You are participating in this conference. Someone with your rank in society has many social connections so that you can live in the 16th story and maintain your social connections. Now, when you house poor people on the 16th story, all their connections are cut. That is really alienating. So what you have noticed as a minor inconvenience really affects the life of people who are not in your social class in a tremendously and damaging way. The alienation of lifting people off the ground, if they don't have the web of connections that an academic like yourself has, is shattering. It shatters these the common people who are, say, on a subsistence level. Their entire life depends on their culture, on their intimate, very close connections. If you put them on the 16th story, you sever all those connections. There's nothing left. Those people have become numbers. And that is the terrible alienating fact we have to face.
Yes, I quite agree. Thank you so much for that.
So, thank you very much, Nicos.
Gina, it was a great pleasure, and I hope everyone heard. And I'm open for a dialogue whenever you want. And whoever was attending the conference, if they want to email me, please, I'm open to that.
Yes. I will put this up and share it with all friends, and we'll keep in touch and take this forward. Actually.
Very good. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Good night.